This short video will show you how Prowealth goes about running the numbers on an investment property to see what it would cost an individual to hold. So what we're going to use here is someone earning $90,000 a year on a single income, and assuming they don't have any other investment properties. So all these boxes in green are variables that we can change, and they'll affect the overall cost to hold of the property. So when your consultant comes out, they'll be able to run these numbers with you, and you can feel free to change whichever boxes you like so that you're totally comfortable with your investment decision. So here we have a property. It's a townhouse in Lisero in this case. The price is $376,000. Now the calculator works out stamp duty for us, which is something you can't avoid. Legal fees here, this is what your conveyancer will charge you. So if you think $1,200 is a bit light, you might change that to say $1,500. So we'll just change that up. Bank fees there, that's things like application fees. Banks may or may not charge that to you. Mortgage insurance, if you have to pay that, that'll appear there because that is tax deductible as well. Interest during construction, that's typically for house and land packages, so not applicable in this case. Down here we've got the rent, so you'll see here we've put in rent of $330, and you might say, well look, hang on, I don't think it'll get $330, it's only going to get maybe $320, so let's punch in $320. Vacancy rate, that's how many weeks of the year it'll be vacant, so 2.5 is probably okay in this case. Interest rate, here we're using 6.04%. Agent management fees, that's to pay an agent to actually let the property out for you. 7% is about an industry standard, so we'll leave that in there. Council rates of $1,100, water rates if it's applicable in that particular council. Strata levies, of course, if it's a townhouse complex, you're going to pay some strata levies. Building and landlord insurances, etc. down here. Finally, down the bottom is the depreciation, where we work out from a quantity surveyor how much we can write off in terms of the building's cost and its fittings. And if you come over here, what it's done is taken the person's income, which you'll see up here was $90,000 a year, and they're currently paying $22,000 a year in tax. Then after it subtracts all the expenses and adds back the rent, you'll see here their new tax is going to drop to about $14,000, which means they'll save around $7,000 in tax, and the property will cost them $77 a week. So instantly you can see how much the property will cost you. And again, because this chart is live, you'll be able to change heaps of variables. So if you think, hang on, what if I get a little bit more rent? Let's go and change that rent to say $340 so you can see the difference. Down here, you'll see that instantly the property will now only cost you about $65 a week. So whenever we run the numbers, we give you the chance to change all the variables that you like to make sure you're totally comfortable with your decision. Over here, you can sort of see some graphs on who's going to be paying for this particular property. In this case here, the tenant's paying 61% of your costs to hang on to the property. The taxman's contributing about 1/3, with you tipping in the balance of 12%. Of course, the effect on your tax, this is one of the big benefits of buying new properties, is there's substantial deductions. You can see here for this client, their old tax, they were paying about $22,000. They're now only paying roughly $14,000, so they're saving about $7,500. Then obviously over time, you can see the property growing in value and the equity continually increasing, equity in green at the bottom. So hopefully that gives you a good explanation of how we go about working out the cost to hold for a property with our company.